take off your bra? Get a little comfortable?
No, I'm good. I was just a little itchy in my love handle area.
Oh, okay. What you been storing in there? Your fucking...
Love handles.
What is your love handle?
The side.
What is your love handle? Your love handle.
I don't...
Your love handle.
This question is making me uncomfortable.
Welcome back to another Big Bang Bazooka on the Tangents of Horror.
Big Bang Bazooka.
You're their host.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm the other guy, Steven.
Yes, you are. Big Bang Bazooka.
That's what you called it, right? The triple Bs? I saw that in your search history.
What the hell are you talking about? I'm getting more and more confused, and the episode hasn't even started
I was
yet.
hoping you were supposed to get me there, not because I didn't know where I was going.
Did you ever know where you're going?
No.
Okay.
I closed my eyes and started sprinting.
That's never a good thing. I do not suggest anyone do that.
I might bang into one of the 1,000 corpses.
Oh, that's what we're doing. We're reviewing a movie.
What?
Rob Zombie's first movie.
Rob Zombie?
Yeah, so let's drag ourselves into it.
Old Bobbert
or
Zombie.
Or Dragula ourselves in. Oh, because he has a song.
Dragula.
Yeah.
Where he dresses in drag and bites your neck.
Dragula, these nuts on.
Okay. These nuts on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, House of 1,000 Corpses.
I just saw that.
Was there 1,000 corpses, do you think?
I was counting. I didn't think there was more than 100.
I don't know. With those catacombs at the end.
You're right. There was catacombs. And
they
there was
started
graves.
adding up.
Yeah.
Adding up.
Yep, you're right.
It's a lot of corpses. It's a lot of butt. A lot of Sherry Moon butt. Did you notice that?
I only noticed, honestly, maybe two.
Twice.
Okay.
Twice is enough.
Twice is, well, the amount of cheeks you see.
It's like a lot for the first movie.
You focus on the left, you focus on the right. You get the whole picture.
You see it in like every movie that she does. It's too funny. It's almost like it should be in the casting.
Yeah. My wife's butt.
Sherry Moon and Sherry Moon's ass. Or
no,
ass
Sherry's
crack.
Moon.
Oh.
Sherry Moon and Sherry's Moon.
So yeah, I actually saw this movie like the year it came out, which was
2002.
Yeah. There you go. I was going to say that. He took the words right out of my mouth.
I do my research.
But it was weird because we just watched an interview and Rob Zombie was talking about how it was like going between studio to studio.
Yeah.
And back then, the internet wasn't as prevalent as it is now. Yeah. So I remember like the rumor about that was that it was too scary for any of the studios, which was kind of right about the first studio.
Yeah.
But then, as we just found out, the second studio
he just
basically fired him because he made a comment saying, "Oh, they'll just do anything."
Yeah. MGM.
And then the third studio
Lionsgate
would do anything and doesn't care what he says. So I remember back then it having this, like it being the scariest movie ever because of that. And even really cool. Renting it, it took us like a couple tries, me and my friends rent it because number one, it was already rated R. And two, it already had this like backstory of
and
being...
the movie cover was so scary and ominous. Anonymous.
It is pretty scary. It's creepy.
You really don't know what you're getting into.
It's nasty.
Yep.
Well, the title does tell you a bit. There is a lot of corpses in a house.
1,000 of them.
I wonder if anyone's counted. I mean, it's just based on a song. We're just being stupid, but you know what I'm saying. You know what
Someone
I'm saying.
has counted.
You did, didn't you?
Someone, I said.
Now, the opening of this movie. Well, if you haven't seen this movie, what it basically is about is a small group of teenagers who find out on a road trip about the legend of Dr. Satan.
Yeah.
And it's like when it comes down to it, it's them trying to find where it happened. And they get into trouble along the way.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be looking where they shouldn't be looking.
But I mean, it's a rumor for a rumor. I'd be curious. I want to know, Doctor.
If that clown, as cool and badass as he is, told you about that rumor, you'd really go and...
If I was them, yes. Because it looks like they have nothing else going on.
It's just funny because there's so many times throughout the movie where you're like, okay, they should think something's going on, but no, it takes them a while.
It's too late.
But the opening, it starts with a commercial.
Yes.
I want some chicken.
Yes.
I really want some chicken now. Not really, though. Not really, because that chicken's probably dirty.
You just don't want chicken in general, though?
Chicken in general, maybe. Yeah. Not that chicken.
Okay.
Because it's a commercial for Captain Spaulding's Museum of,
Yeah.
I forget the name, but it's like crazy
Yeah, crazy shit.
shit
and
like
horror.
Alligator Boy
yeah.
and
And
things in jars.
Lava Girl.
Yeah. Was Lava Girl there? Did you see Lava
Alligator
Girl?
Boy and Lava
No.
Girl.
No.
I
And of course, Dr. Satan.
Yep.
And his murder ride.
yeah, yep. It's sort of like the Willy Wonka scene.
Yes.
A lot of it was just like a haunted house.
But it's
Things-
not the House of a Thousand Corpses.
No.
Because it's a gas station
It's
and a sideshow attraction.
It's
like the front for
yeah,
the
that's
house.
the word I was looking for.
Oh,
I was
good.
going to say a
There you
side
go.
hustle.
And I like it too because we get one. It kind of brings in one of the locals,
Mhm.
and he's just talking to. I wanted to say Sid because that's the actor's
You can
name.
call him Clown Boy.
Spaulding,
Okay.
good old Spaulding, and they're
Clown
talking
Boy.
about all the idiots in the
Yeah.
town and shit, and then they get robbed by some of the idiots
Yep.
in town, and it's such a small town that the townie actually recognizes
Yeah.
one of them
Yeah, yeah.
because he works at the hardware store
Yeah,
or
that's
something
it.
like that. And then they start singing a song that everyone makes fun of him for.
Yeah.
So did that intro fucking grab you?
Yes, because I wanted to know more about Spaulding and his operation.
There's a lot in this movie where that makes you want to know more,
Yeah.
but then you don't find out more of what you
And
want
I
to
think
know
I like
more.
it better that way too.
I do too,
Yeah.
because it kind of continues with Spaulding in the next movies,
Right.
which is nice because you don't really get any backstory.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
You don't
just
even
get an
really
idea.
know if he's part of it
Yeah.
until the end.
Yeah.
Which even at that point, it's hard to tell if it's real,
What the connection
a
is.
dream,
Right. Yeah.
or well,
That's-
no, because then they end up in the chair anyway. So maybe it's not a dream.
Well, it could have been a dream that she hallucinated getting out and getting saved.
That's true.
Because that makes
'Cause
much
that
more
end
sense
part
that they
is-
drive her back or something.
Because the only problem I have with this movie
Mm.
is that end scene.
Okay.
One little part of it, which we'll get to.
Okay.
But yeah, we get the opening. We're introduced to the murder ride,
Yeah.
which I would love to take. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I love Captain Spaulding's little sidekick that comes out of
Yes.
nowhere
Yeah,
and just bashes the crap out of those two guys.
Yeah.
And while the guy's pointing the gun at Captain Spaulding, he's saying "fuck" every family member,
Yep.
and most of all, "fuck you," and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
shoots him, and then we get the opening credits. So good. He is such a great character.
Very much so, and I love to see good actors carrying a great film.
Well, he's legendary too.
Oh yeah.
There's actually a lot of people in this movie that are, I guess,
Good improv.
like horror legends.
Okay, got you. Oh yeah, like the guy that was playing the monster.
So yeah, Sid Haig.
Sid Haig looks like old Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he kind of does. And
Sid Haig,
rest
yeah.
in peace to him because
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
What?
he passed right when they were trying to do the
2019?
third movie.
Ah,
Yeah,
he didn't like it as much.
yeah, he's been in a lot of
Yeah,
movies
I
since
remember.
1960.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
What was he? 13?
I don't know. It was a short film too. One of those short films always popping up, and so many of the films are like Beware the Blob.
Gotcha. Yeah.
There's a
Very
lot of
classic.
dead, blood, house.
Okay, now you do have to mention in 1966 his role in Bloodbath was Abdul the Arab. That sounds like a fucking
Bloodbath.
Who's that? Who's the Canadian
I
comedian?
like that cover. Who was what?
Who's that Canadian comedian that passed away recently? Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like a Norm Macdonald character.
Oh, he's so funny. That's a great poster for Bloodbath, though. It's what we were talking about when they used to actually paint the posters and
Yeah.
shit. Oh, that's nice.
Back when they didn't invent pictures.
So yeah, he plays a great character
Yeah.
in all. Well, I guess not all three movies because he's not in the third one as much, but he plays a great character
Yeah.
in the first two. We also we're introduced to the four. I mean, I guess they're the main characters, but they're like even the bad people, like the evil twisted
Yeah.
Firefly family. They're kind of main characters as well.
I think that they're just also fleshed out, which is like there's no prominent one that's more fleshed out than the other one. It's just
Well, yeah, because
everyone's
to
kind of
be
equally
honest, I
fleshed.
always forget
Yeah.
the survive. Like,
Yeah,
well,
the
they're not the
main cast,
survivors.
yeah.
I always forget the name of those characters,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I always remember the
Yeah, yeah.
Firefly family.
Yeah.
Like, there's Otis, Baby, Tiny.
Yeah.
Like you remember the crazy people,
Yeah, yeah.
not
Well,
the
but that's
normal
because
people.
You're rooting for them.
You kind of are, and it's kind of
No,
twisted.
You kind of are.
Well, they kind of
wasn't.
portray the people being tortured as not the greatest people anyway. They're kind of stupid.
So they deserve to die, Brandon, and be tortured and turn into
In
a
a
merman.
movie sort of way, yeah.
I
For my entertainment.
I can't.
Well, if the Firefly family...
I want the Firefly family to go up in flames. That's what I want.
No.
Burn that barn.
No, it's a nice
Turn
barn.
them into wheel fireflies.
Fireflies?
Fireflies in the sky.
And of course, we have Bill Moseley as my favorite character.
I liked
Otis.
Rainn Wilson the best. Because he's from my era of great TV, The Office, USA.
You love The Office, don't you?
It's a good
It's
little,
all right.
It's a good little show.
I thought you were a Seinfeld guy.
I like
You're not allowed
Seinfeld.
to like more than one.
Well-
That's just blasphemy.
I like Office bloopers and I like Seinfeld.
Oh my God, Office bloopers. They should try and just make
yeah.
every episode again
Improv.
using the bloopers.
It can only be improv.
Even if it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Just do
recreate
one
it,
scene,
piece
the
it
best
together.
blooper you can find,
Yeah.
into the next scene, best blooper you can
Where
find.
someone's breaking every time.
But yeah, I actually always forget Rainn Wilson is in this from,
Yeah.
Dwight from The Office. Because once he was on The Office, I don't think he was in anything huge
No.
because it was just like prominently that.
I've seen him on podcasts recently though, so I wonder if he's up to
Oh,
something.
he's great
Yeah,
on
yeah,
podcasts.
yeah.
He has a crazy house too.
Oh,
really
yeah?
nice house.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen it on YouTube. I forget what channel it was. But Bill Moseley plays the crazy brother Otis, which is awesome because he plays the crazy brother in one of my favorite movies, Texas
3 Days from
Chainsaw
Hell.
Massacre 2. And it's 3 from Hell, not 3 Days from Hell.
That's another movie I'm thinking of.
Oh.
You gotta see it. I'm a big movie guy.
Yeah, well, you have to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
I know what happens. He chains him up with a chainsaw.
No, that's Leatherface.
Oh.
And Tiny kind of reminded me of Leatherface because he
Yeah.
covers his face. He's the biggest person in the family.
Tiny's a great character.
And he's kind of, I was going to say hesitant. Now I can't think of the word. Because he's nice
like
to
a
the girl.
deer.
No, he's like
He's like a deer. That's what you're
no,
trying to say?
He's nice to the girl, so he's sympathetic to the people that they've captured.
Hesitant. Okay, do you retract hesitant altogether?
Well, because he doesn't kill her, so he's hesitant from killing her like
Oh.
everyone else. Because she wakes up, he's eating his like
He doesn't seem to even have interest in killing her, to be honest.
not really,
Yeah.
and he just lets her go. And then
Yeah.
later on, when he sees her dead, he covers her face with the mask.
Yeah.
So he seems to be more of the. And when it comes to Leatherface, when you see the movies, he's more like a frightened animal. Like he's
Like a
just
deer.
protecting his house.
Like a deer.
Sure.
Yes, I knew it all along.
Not like a deer. Deer, whatever.
Deer
That is
are
a horrible animal
they're
too.
timid.
No, it's like a bear.
They're
He's like
timid.
a bear. He's like a fucking bear.
well.
Roar.
He'd have to be like a
Rawr.
black bear. Those are
Rawr.
most timid.
Polar bear.
Those are
they're actually
they're out for blood.
they are. That's what I mean.
all
They're
the time.
badass.
You have a twisted mind.
Was it who was it? I forget what I was watching, but they were talking about this short story or some shit about this ship that goes to like the Antarctic and
Yeah.
it gets stuck and it starts sinking. So
Yeah.
they have to like go on to a glacier until
Okay.
a ship that's following
Yeah,
them reaches them.
Yeah.
But then they see a polar. Oh, you know what? I think I saw it on a Joe Rogan clip. I'm not even kidding. And apparently it's a true story. They were stuck on the iceberg. I can't believe this is the tangent we get on. But they're stuck there and they're fine until they see a polar bear like on another iceberg, like way off in the distance.
Yeah.
But it slowly starts like swimming from iceberg to iceberg until it eventually gets to them and actually grabs one and pulls it.
Holy shit.
And none of them could have none of them did anything because they couldn't because
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thing was like massive.
Oh yeah.
Like Leatherface. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And they should have had like Coca-Cola on them or something.
They should have.
And that
Polar bears love that shit.
Oh, I've seen
and
it.
actually, there's Coca-Cola in this movie.
There was
See,
2
everything
bottles.
full circle.
Guys, we're professionals.
And it was those nice glass bottles too.
It was. Well, that's all they had in the 70s.
It's true.
Cans
I hate how
weren't
those glass
invented.
bottles are like $5 now,
Yeah, it's
and
a
you get
shame.
like a shot of Coke.
Yeah, and that's it.
I wonder if they were that small in the 70s.
It looked really small in his hands.
Did they?
Yeah.
Maybe he had big hands.
Maybe he had big hands.
Maybe.
Hellboy.
All right, but if you haven't seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which I know,
Everyone hasn't.
I know you haven't.
What?
He plays a crazy, crazy character called Chop Top. And basically, because he's a new character and he wasn't in the first one, their reasoning was he was off in the war.
Nice. Oh, I like that.
And in the war, he got something happened to his head where he had to get a metal plate. So it's showing the whole time.
Okay.
And he has one of those coat hangers, the metal ones,
yeah.
and he scratches at it like the entire movie. And he actually became such a big character. There was an unofficial, not sequel, but like side side story movie made of him that's like lost now, and it was never released. That people really want to see happen. And he's in House of a Thousand Corpses, and he's fucking awesome.
And he's
Otis.
not scratching his head in this one. The only person
don't
who scratches their head
no.
is the clown guy when the cop asks him to think really hard about it.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Yeah, that was good.
When they're interrogating
that works.
Spaulding. That's a great scene. That's what I mean. His character is so fantastic. Just even the little things that he does.
What is your favorite scene of the movie?
Of the entire movie?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's tough.
I got mine immediately.
It
was the one I was laughing the hardest at.
The hardest at? Well, anything with Spaulding was the funniest.
Oh, see, I thought it was the show that the Firefly family put on.
See, that was uncomfortable to me.
Me too. And I think that's why it was so well done. And I love the reaction of, God, what's our main character's friend's name?
Which one, Jerry? The one with the bad wig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When fucking Jerry was totally enamored with the whole show. And
he's the only one that's like into
he's like laughing hard at the guy's jokes. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, because Grandpa's just telling pussy joke after pussy joke.
Just be those vile. And I love the way they shot this movie.
There's so many crazy kinds of shots throughout the movie too.
Yeah. Like these heavily filtered ones where like there's mostly purple and greens on the screen.
Yeah, some of the negative shots too, and then some of them just look like dingy handheld like all these VHS camcorder
with like
things.
Crazy digital zoom. Like, anytime we entered the fire, well, I guess it was spooky guy we were just talking about.
Otis?
That's his name.
Otis. Yeah.
Otis. I'm like Codis.
Otis.
Codis penis. Otis.
Brother Otis.
Otis nuts in your mouth. Yeah.
Close. That was all right.
Whenever we caught to shots of Otis doing stuff to the lost teenagers, the cheerleaders.
The cheerleaders, yeah.
It was always shot in this like crazy snuff film sort of.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
With like these crazy digital zooms. Oh, I enjoyed it a lot.
Very like 70s horror.
Yeah.
Dingy,
Basement
dirty,
movie.
nasty shit.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Otis is the one who puts together something for Halloween every year. Almost like there's always that like, I don't know, sitcom dad that does something different every year for Christmas, but something big.
Yeah.
And this year just happened to involve a group of cheerleaders and these four people who I guess were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Don't stick your nose in somebody else's Firefly.
Unless this was just the first time they included killing people and got sloppy about it.
Right. Well,
because it was just pretty easy for the authorities to track them down and stuff.
They got a graveyard, baby.
It's true. That's what it's true. And I wish there was a prequel to show that kind of stuff because there's just the trilogy at this point and nothing about
we have enough information to assume. They have a whole system where they lower a coffin. They have all those zombies living underneath their mansion.
Well, I'd like to see how it started because the little tidbits of Dr. Satan we get is that he was like an official doctor at one point, but the experiments he was doing made people hang him. That's what I mean. Like he's been around forever.
He reminds me of.
So when they hung him, somehow the body went missing, and of course, I guess he survived, went underground. And then, like, I would like to know the story of the house being built over his laboratory. In my mind, the Firefly family are kind of like his minions, sort of.
They seem to coexist. Like, they seem to have their own shtick that they do. And they just kind of mutual help.
Well, we find out the father works for him. So maybe... Because I think the father's even like a robot. Like, part robot. So he's part mutant. Because every time it looks through his eyes, you hear like the... zappy technical mechanical noise. So maybe he's older than we think, but at the same time the mom's not like a mutant or anything.
No you know of.
So it's weird. I'd like to know a little bit more backstory. It'd be cool. I think so. And we don't see Dr. Satan after this movie.
No. Oh, do we?
Which is no.
Well, he died of health complications.
I don't know. He had a pretty good system going.
He was
holding
spitting
him up
out
and
green
whatnot.
by the end of it, dude.
No, that was Earl.
That was
the one with the axe running through the catacombs. That was Earl. Dr. Satan's the old skinny dude.
Why was Earl so decrepit? Like, he took out his little breathing thing and his mouth was all...
I don't know why he does that at the end, to be honest. Maybe it was just stuffy underground.
And why does he look so, meaty and fleshy? Unless he's,
he's mutated because Dr. Satan's been working on him for so long. He's a test subject. Maybe that was the, what do you want to call it? Like the contract he had with the Firefly family.
Yeah, maybe.
Family. I can't
say that.
Family. Firefly family.
Firefly
family.
Red ribbon, yellow ribbon.
There you go. I don't even know.
Irish wristwatch.
That's the one. There you go. Penis pendulum placement.
Say Irish wristwatch.
Damn it.
Ooh,
oh, so close.
Foiled again.
Now you made me lose my spot.
No, dude. Dr. Satan, Earl Grey Jones, Otis from Garfield.
Who was your favorite, other than Otis, who was your favorite member of the Firefly family?
I like Tiny.
Tiny's fun.
I love Tiny because I
want his sweater.
You want his sweater?
Yeah, I want that sweater.
I was looking on his face the whole time.
You want his mask?
I want to kiss.
Aw. Such big hands.
Big hands.
You know what they say about someone with big hands?
He'll keep me warm at night.
Big gloves.
Oh. To keep me warm at night. Yeah, I like that he essentially runs by his own accord.
And he has a very tragic backstory.
Yeah.
Like they say Earl lit the house on fire because the spirits of all the dead people.
Yeah.
But he's throwing the gas on Tiny in the basement. Like I don't know if the mom was just trying to make it sound nicer than it was. Because she's like, Tiny just got in the way or something, or didn't get out of the house.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. Well, they don't like it because he wouldn't murder.
Which is funny because that has nothing to do with his size, too. No. It's just, that's why he wears the mask.
And he can't hear so well, but then he hears just fine when the chick is whispering to him. So I think he's conning the family.
Oh,
by
maybe.
Just not listening to them because he resents them so much.
And that would be a fun movie in itself, too.
Well, I'm telling you.
You're telling me. So we don't need a movie.
No, yeah. I talked to Mr. Bob Zombie, and he told me all about it because I was really curious, and I was a nice guy, so he told me.
Mr. Zobrombi?
Zobrambo? Robo Zombie?
Oh, dear. I think I like... Grandpa might be one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, that's
just because he eats. That's all he does. That's pretty much his role.
Stuff in his mouth.
And I almost wonder if he was ever more like Otis or something. Because even when the cops come, Otis is like, well, I guess I'll take care of this fucking situation again. Yeah. And Grandpa just gives the finger and then points at the TV and keeps stuffing mashed potatoes. And then even when they're at the table having dinner and the girl won't put her mask down, he yells at her that if you don't put your mask on, we can't fucking eat. And then takes some of her food and eats it. I love it. I love it.
See, I found something really interesting about scenes like that and why it was so good was because I think definitely the car scene, definitely the dinner scene, definitely the whole show tune scene with the show going on. I think those were all just shot as a scene with multiple cameras set up around and nobody's stopping. Like everyone's just in character, and I think they're shooting that whole thing, quote unquote, in one with multiple camera setups around the room.
Maybe
instead of just like cutting to inserts and here and there, like filming them separately. I think this was happening all in one room because the car scene itself took really long to get through. But I think they do minimal cutting, like for time skip reasons. I think they just keep it all in one. And the car scene took really long, and it's just because the actors were walking all around, and it gave you that sense of time, like no one was jumping to where they weren't yet in the last scene. Am I getting it across?
No, yeah, I get it. I'm just listening.
Christ. No, you look.
I'm just listening.
You're falling asleep.
No. I'm just looking forward to my nap later.
Yeah, I found that really interesting. I loved how they did it. I think that's how they did it. And I think that's what adds to the comedic humor as well as suspense.
It's kind of insane how creepy this movie goes. Yep. Almost borderline like it gets rapey at times. Like even you see Otis, it
teases you.
Yeah, because Otis they basically take all the cheerleaders as toys.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
Baby has a couple in her bedroom. One's dead, and she's like talking to the other one about not being a cheerleader. But then you see Otis wearing one of them.
Yeah.
and has one on the bed, and it kind of looks like he's probably doing naughty, nasty stuff.
Yeah, that's why they mentioned Ed Gein.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They put all the influences right on, like right at the beginning in the museum. Yeah. But yeah, Otis, it goes really crazy, but then he has funny fucking parts in the movie. Like it just goes,
and those cut off after that. After the 3 of the main group dies, they stop the funnies for the rest of the movie. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, when it's Halloween, and he's like they're doing like a ceremony, and he's full on like priesting it up, but like Satanist makeup and the red robe and walking through, and
I think it was
so crazy.
Right after the gunshot scene to kill the cop in the backyard, that really long one. I think after that the funny stopped in the movie, and I thought that was really cool. How you can just have Act 1 and 2 being like this sort of jumping between comedy and thriller and horror, and the audience isn't too sure.
Basically like a crazy circus.
Yeah, and then once it happens, it's all downhill from there, and it's cool. Act 3.
What did you think of that cop scene where it holds?
Oh, that's great
for a very long time.
Yeah, of course.
And every time I watch that, I try and like now
guess
now, and I never get it.
Yeah,
it takes so long. Very
good, like 20 seconds, I would say.
And it's like the only artsy thing in the film.
I disagree.
That kind of artsy. Why? Yes. What would you say?
All the double shots, all of that one shot of her in the catacombs with her face looking forward, and then it's like masked off into a separate shot.
Oh yeah, of the guy behind her, Earl behind her.
A bunch of when he was getting robbed, and and the minion of what's Mr. Clown's name? Spaulding. The minion of Spaulding walks in, and the fucking robber does a triple take, and it just replays the same shot of him turning around 3 times. No, there was a lot of really fun artsy shots that I liked.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Little Edgar Wright adjacent
when I
stuff.
say artsy in this day and age, I always think of A24, which is
long,
always just long,
shots. Yeah,
kind of annoying at this point.
Yeah, no, artsy now. Same thing with Nope.
Yeah,
they have those long uncut,
but they're good.
They are really
like
good.
He's really Jordan Peele's really good at it. Some A24 movie. I find it funny that A24 is like a movie company, but it's become a way to
this genre
of movies in themselves. Yeah, because I'm not even talking about A24 movies in general. I mean movies that are trying to be A24.
Yeah, not all A24 films are under A24.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool shots. There's actually insane amounts of, like, the amounts of different kinds of camera shots, because, like, the negative ones, the flashbacks, there's dream sequences. The whole third act could definitely be a dream sequence in itself. It's a motherfucker of a movie.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Just a little bits of everything. And I seem to notice a pattern with the movies that you like, where it's like these 4 heroes that go on like a Dungeons and Dragons adventure.
Well, that's mostly horror movies. There's always like a main group of people. And then one of them ends up being the final person.
Well, specifically, you seem to like all of these 4 characters seem to play a similar sort of dynamic commonly across the movies that you like.
Yeah.
Like there's the straight guy, the dumb guy, like straight edge guy, the dumb guy.
But that's just every horror movie.
Some sort of chick for some sexual tension, possibly.
Okay, so let's do this.
Okay.
The last movie we watched was Shaun of the Dead.
Correct. But it's one of your top films.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, Evil Dead, group of people go to a cabin.
One of your top films, though.
Cocaine Bear. It's like multiple groups of people.
I wouldn't put Cocaine Bear in this. Just because it's a group of people, the dynamic is what I fixate on. That's a familiar.
Okay, but still, look at all the different characters. There's the little stupid stoner.
No, that's a family dynamic. That is a completely separate genre. A family dynamic is this weird new age horror thing that I don't understand, and I separate myself from.
Family dynamic.
Yes.
One of the groups is a family.
The Visit, Cocaine Bear, any Paranormal Activity, any horror movie that's in a house with a family, which is all of them.
But a family is automatically a group.
And it's lazy group. Show me dynamics, show me tension, show me this girl hates the other girl. There's a couple, there's best friends, you get cool ties. When it's mother,
well,
father,
then you should see Orphan. That's a fucked up family dynamic.
Maybe. Oh, a little Oedipus complex.
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
It's Greek,
Okay.
I think.
All right. I'll take your word for it because I don't know.
I played Hades. You didn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't even play God of War. And that's probably not even Greek.
God of War, Kratos.
That's another mythology, isn't
He
it?
might be Roman. I don't know.
Boy.
Why'd you say boy?
'Cause that's all he says in the second
boy.
one or
Does he have
fourth one
rasp?
or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not going to try
I'm
and do
not
his
a
voice.
gamer.
I can't do that low. Boy. Oh,
Shave
there
your
you
head.
go.
Well, that sounds like boy.
Well, that's kind of what it sounds like through the
sounds
game.
like-
I've watched people play it on Twitch, and literally the whole time when it came out, people were laughing at that because he says it every
boy.
4 seconds or something.
Bobby.
Bobby. I mean, that fits right into the Firefly family. So we do get that side before the cops die. We get the side story of like the dad who gets worried
Yeah.
and calls the cops.
Yeah.
And we do get a bit of a Leatherface callback with Otis instead of Tiny.
Yeah.
Because Otis puts on
his skin.
the skin of the dad.
Yeah.
That was well done.
Yes, I think so too. Yeah.
Because a lot of the time when they do that, sometimes they'll CGI, like especially the face to make it look real. Like that's my biggest problem with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Oh no!
There's one part where he wears the boyfriend's face.
Yeah. Oh, they just.
But it
CGI'd.
makes me laugh because it's like CGI the dude's face
Oh no!
on Leatherface.
What a bad way to do it.
Yeah, and this one was great, especially because he goes in and
We've been making face molds in the film industry forever. You think you
Right?
can't call someone up?
you think people aren't gonna notice
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the bad mustache the dude
Yeah.
had and shit like that.
God.
And you just watched him cut his face off.
Yeah.
I think we could put 2 and 2 together. No, but they did a great job, and it was creepy too because I find it funny that she think it was her dad at first.
I think she was
Because
trying to appease him.
She didn't go crazy until he took the hood off, and then she was like, "Wow!"
I wonder. Yeah, she's just gone that bonkers because she did say "daddy" twice, but I thought she was just trying to play along with him.
I do like in this movie that the 2 females are the ones that are like not wanting to be there the whole time,
Yeah.
and the guys are kind of the dumbasses. Like,
Yeah.
no, this is fun. That's
Isn't that always the case?
not always.
All my dates, that's what
Usually
it's like.
they're all pretty stupid except for like one person, but in this one it was the 2 guys were just dumb the whole time.
On my dates, that's what it's like.
Oh,
Yeah.
pardon me,
Sorry.
Mr.
I get out more.
You do. What can I say?
Learn
Someone
something.
has to edit the episodes. Oh.
Make AI do it.
No, that's scary.
Probably do a
You don't
better
know what they're
job.
going to make us say. They might get us canceled.
Please support all robots. Like, cut up my voice. Make me say that.
That
Please
I
support
think
all
they could
robots.
make. I think they could make
Yeah.
it sound better than
Yeah,
that.
they would just. They would take a.
Just
voice.
saying. Just putting that out there. There's no robots in this movie. Oh, there is though.
There
Earl.
is Earl Grey Jones. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Isn't that a T?
Earl Grey is, but then why do I put Jones at the end? Is there someone with 3 names that ends in Jones?
See, when you ask me a
Earl-
question,
Earl
my
Blank
brain,
Jones?
my brain goes, and then it just.
It's got to be that Earl Blank Jones.
It's Darth Vader.
Oh, you're right. Darth.
Is it just Earl Jones? Darth
No,
Vader?
he's got to have a third name.
James Earl Jones.
James
That's
Earl-
the one. James Earl Jones.
Did I put James on the end?
I don't
No, I
remember
put
what
Jo-
you did.
Oh no,
No, you put.
I said Earl Grey. I just put the T. Oh, what a guy!
And to think we don't drink before
No.
we record.
Should have had some tea. Now,
Man.
would you officially put this in the Cornetto trilogy?
What? No, you were fired.
Oh, I
No,
know.
you're not. 'Cause I got no one else to
No.
record with.
And then all the truth.
No, it's not part of the Cornetto trilogy.
Okay.
We've already watched.
I'm saying, would you though?
Oh,
if you had
no,
the power. Okay,
because Simon Pegg wasn't in it. That was not Simon Pegg. That wasn't
That Simon
was
Pegg.
Dwight.
That
I don't
was
know what his name.
Dwight.
Rainn Wilson.
They both play good office guys.
That's
They
true.
could put on a dress shirt and a tie, and I'd believe it.
I believe it
Yeah.
too, because
I've seen
anyone can really wear that.
it. Yeah.
So
well,
I,
but
I
they
don't
look
know where
like
you.
they should be wearing it
Oh,
as people.
okay.
That's the role they suit.
You're an odd one.
I
you're
put
not
people
one.
in clothes in my mind.
I believe you. I believe you.
You may take them off in your mind. I put them on.
Run, rabbit.
That's
That was That's my favorite scene with
I
Otis.
and I feel like that's the same as the DVD menu of this movie, where they just put a camera in front of him and he just started saying
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I made Steven watch the DVD menu of the movie because it's probably one of the best, only because there actually is something going on there.
Yeah.
And it's Dr. Spaulding basically saying, "Why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
I'm going to eat something."
They said, "Stay in character, Mr. Spaulding. Stay on this mark. I'm going to set this camera up." In the DVD menu specifically, they probably directed him by saying, "Make this excruciatingly slow. So here's a porny mag to look through.
Oh, that
here's
was
a
too
sandwich to eat, and make this as long as you can." But in the Run Piggy Run scene, I imagine it was exactly that. Put a camera in front of him, stay in character.
I bet you a lot of the like flashback scenes with Otis were probably just go fucking crazy and just scream something like this and just has like a couple words that he has to incorporate or some stuff.
That's what makes better films.
He plays such a good crazy fucking
good
over
acting.
the top, like in charge of the family kind of character. I love it. What else that I wanted to? Well, basically, when they do finally meet Dr. Satan, which you kind of forget about.
Yeah.
Like, all this shit going down with the Firefly family.
It's their third time.
Probably more.
Nope, I've been counting.
Oh, I'm not good at counting.
I've been docking points off.
You almost forget about the whole Dr. Satan thing until Otis comes out and says, "You want to see it?
Yeah.
Fine, we'll fucking take you to him." And this is where we see he's living underground in like this mine shaft that they lower this giant coffin into coffee. I mean, Dr. Satan needs his caffeine.
Maybe he thought that was like a tea bag that they were slowly lowering
back to the Earl Grey thing.
I think there's something to that.
Help me. Please,
My name is
anyone, help me.
And he plays a little song and lights a little fire.
I love the music in this movie. It is really well done. See, what's cool about that is that starts going for the like next 10 minutes of her, it's Jerry and I think his girlfriend being lowered down.
Yeah.
And this is when one of them runs away.
Yes.
And Baby goes after them, stabs them to death.
Yeah.
And that's when Tiny puts the mask on. But that like incantation, it almost reminds me of, I wonder if he got inspiration from Evil Dead when they play their tape and it's just a guy reading
just reading from the Book of the Dead,
Sumerian text or whatever it is. I forget what it is that right? I don't know.
Sumerian,
it's always something that sounds like that, isn't it? All right,
I think maybe
it's not English.
I played Skyrim
because English isn't scary when you, even if you read it like that.
I could make it scary.
I don't know because you
see, you look so
what
afraid.
Are you going
you look
for?
So afraid right
just
there.
Moving on.
I made English scary.
Because I made note of when that actually stops. It doesn't stop until she's running through the catacomb of skulls.
Yeah.
Which is a good like 10 minutes because we see Jerry get taken out of the coffin by those mutants.
Yes.
She's almost taken, but
she
then
runs
they
in the
leave
tunnel,
her
meets
alone.
an old man. Old man gestures to her. She doesn't hold his hand.
He was just cold.
Yeah, he pushes her away, and goblins grab her, take off a bunny.
Well, her bunny costume.
They want her bunny costume. Looks really expensive.
They're cold. It's cold underground. Heat rises.
Yeah, it's true. And then she wanders away and hits a door. That's a whole sequence.
Badass door.
Yeah.
But yeah, when she's walking through that little hall of like white skull, like it's like really cobwebby, and some lights coming in from somewhere. I always thought that was weird.
There's like holes in the ceiling.
She's underground.
Yeah, we were established to that when she was her first when her bunny costume got torn away. She went into a smaller cave and kind of sat down.
Okay.
And she looked up and there was daylight coming in.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that.
Well, talk to Bob Zombie.
But it's cool because you just hear kind of like a thumping of kind of like music.
Yeah.
And then you hear the voice kind of disappear and then the music kind of rise at the same time. So it morphs into the music until she reaches the door, which is clean.
Beautiful.
There's a skull
chandelier.
Chandelier, thank you.
Bones chandelier.
Well, yeah, because there was skulls around it, and then bones holding it up. And this is where the 1,000 Corpses was. Easily.
Yep.
Easily. But because I like it when she's walking down what we call the catacomb hallway. Like I said, it's all cobwebby. Yeah. She opens this one door, and then all of a sudden it's like completely clean, which is funny.
Well, he's a
when
doctor.
she opens the next, but when she opens the next door, It's worse than the house. It's
probably
worse than
sterile.
anything. I don't know.
Oh,
Because we see his,
he's a good
I guess,
doctor.
test subjects sitting in the lounge.
Yeah.
I guess it's the waiting area, like because she's going to a doctor's office,
Oh yeah.
and they're all just watching TVs with like
wait,
static.
I lied.
Or
They did have one comedy shot on that when they all gave her their first glance, and we got a hyper close up of them giving her their first glance, and then the next shot was just them going back to doing whatever they're doing.
yeah, they look like they were having a good time.
Yeah. I love
Good,
those
nice
guys.
doctors out. Lots of TVs to
Yeah.
watch.
I think one was a gamer.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's always 1 out of 3.
Yeah,
usually
people.
a gamer. That's what I've heard.
1 out of 3
from
zombies
no one. But yeah, this is where it gets really crazy. I liked this end part because it kind of makes you think that it might be a dream sequence, might not be. Did she end up
Either way,
getting
it
back
makes
into his
sense
chair?
to me. And well, I'm curious about what this thing that you had near the end.
Oh, because for whatever reason, Dr. Satan just wants her killed all of a sudden, sort of, because he sends Earl after her, so she
Right.
runs away. I guess it was just to capture her, maybe.
Yeah.
But my biggest beef is when Earl goes to chop her.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like he's swinging the axe at her. Like, she doesn't move. Like, it's just the only thing that...
Okay, yeah.
And it's that almost makes me think it's a dream sequence, because that was just so poorly
Oh, I see.
done.
Yeah.
That, like, he's lived there for how long? Probably run through these tunnels before.
Yeah.
And he takes one swing
and fucking...
and takes down the ceiling on himself.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. I'm not convinced, but I will
Next
take
time
it
you
into
watch it, it'll
consideration.
stand out.
Yeah.
Because ever since I had noticed that, I was just like, why? Is he just that dumb of a minion? But he seems to be smarter than that.
We saw the POV. For whatever reason, my explanation for it in my head was he was like, he looked like he was drunk. Like, he was not moving okay.
Oh, so maybe he doesn't have, like, the greatest vision.
Yeah, in the POV, it was like 2 little red eyes, and like,
I mean,
it
he
was,
is basically a zombie mutant thing.
Yeah, he seemed to not be all there, and especially with the green goo he's spitting out, and he takes out his little hose.
He like shits out his mouth.
Yeah.
Because his mouth kind of looks like an anus. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
going to
does.
lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's having some bad rhea.
You think he eats through his butt
He's got to at that
and then
point.
shits out his
Yeah,
mouth
they
like
probably-
that South Park episode?
Yeah, I remember when Cartman did that.
Are you just guessing on
Yep.
that? Are you really?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what happens.
Yeah, I figured Cartman would be the
Yeah,
most likely.
Cartman thinks that, well, if we eat and it comes out our butt, what if we shove our food
Does
up
he
our
shit
ass?
out
And he
his
shits
mouth?
out his mouth. He goes to school and he's like, guys, check this out. And he shits out his mouth. It's hilarious. Maybe that's where Earl got it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where South Park got it. I
Yeah.
don't fucking know. There was a lot of movies with butts and shit
Simpsons
around
are
that time.
first.
Like Human Centipede. And
Yeah.
I guess that's just the easiest way to gross people out is bring
Yeah.
someone's...
Well, yeah, we did slime, we did gore and blood. Now people are desensitized from that. We had to move on to poo poo.
Just gotta bring in the poo. That's where I draw the line. I'm not a poo
It
guy.
worked.
I'm not. Yeah.
It worked.
So I drew the line.
You drew the line in the poo.
All right. Well, here's where I'm gonna ask. What did you think of the ending? Because it was a classic ending. I know you wouldn't know this, but of like final girl running through the sunshine. The sun comes up, and then she gets picked up by someone.
Yeah.
And usually, it's a psych out.
Yeah.
Although in Texas Chainsaw, I think Leatherface is just like chasing her with the chainsaw.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
that's
he's
great.
like
Into
running
the
around
sunset.
like yeah. But what did you think? Because you kind of think it's over, and then fucking Otis pops up too.
That made me root for the baddies the most. Is
Mhm.
that they were prepared for any situation, even if someone were to run away. And it's a small town, and you just make a call, and Clown Man will show up, pick her up.
Kind of like he's the cleanup crew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he probably calls the tow trucks.
Because he plays it pretty good. Like, you almost think he will take her away.
Yeah,
Because I think that's the joke. She's like, take me to a hospital, take me to a hospital. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I'll take you to a hospital.
Yeah,
Just, lie back, sit
Yeah.
still. And he does take her to a doctor.
Oh yeah, true. That is.
It's just
I
Dr.
wonder if
Satan.
it says, "Yeah, I'll take you to a doctor."
I think he
Yeah.
does.
Oh, that's great.
So it kind of, it ends on on a punchline. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take you to a doctor. And it's
Well,
Dr.
he's a
Satan.
clown. He's a
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah, I like it. It's actually one of my favorite movies, which is a shame that we're doing so many of our favorite movies
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. Clown, Shaun of the Dead.
Clown is not my favorite movie. It's my guilty pleasure movie.
You said on that episode that it's one of your favorite movies.
Maybe it's my favorite movie to watch, but not my favorite movie.
You're a very complex person.
You'll learn more about it.
No, I'll forget.
It's like 50 First Dates with you. 50 First Podcast episodes.
5 out of 5, I think, for me. Be honest, you don't have to mind my feelings.
Hey, I thought about it, and I'm still thinking. Is there anything I disliked? Again, it's just one of those films. The same thing I was talking about with Edgar Wright and his wonderful motion pictures. It's a movie that has a bit of everything and does that everything correctly. I think there isn't any accidents in this film. Actually, I noticed some actually possibly cut out parts, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But it never strayed my attention. I love fucking good comedy, and this had really good comedy, and really good unsettling moments, and really pretty shots. Yeah, and they did a lot of interesting things. I can't find a reason to put it under 5 out of 5.
All right.
And so I think that's what I'll give it.
That's interesting to me. I didn't know what you were gonna feel about this.
Yeah.
Because it's not a normal movie.
No, and you can tell a story, and say the story's 10 out of 10. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll be a 10 out of 10 film, because you might be missing other aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they know when to cut out the bullshit in this movie too, because they will tell a story in a sequence of like 5 seconds with like 10 different clips, and much like what Edgar Wright does when he just does a lot of quick sequences to like gear up or something or travel somewhere.
Butter the toast.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's all quick and snappy, and they tell a story enough. And
ooh, Fish Boy. That was cool.
Fish Boy's great. Did they say Merman or Fish Boy? You're right.
Fish Boy. I know.
Fish
I
Boy.
always think Merman when I see it as well. But yeah, he says, he
That's
turns
great.
her chair around. He's like,
Yeah.
Fish Boy.
Yeah, I
and
think that was a great piece of art.
that looked really
The
cool.
gills that they cut
And
into
the
him.
way...
Yeah, he,
I'm
like,
surprised
curved.
it looked so nice, like going
Yeah.
from the gills to the
Yeah,
skin.
it was like an ice
didn't look-
sculpture. Yeah.
It was weird,
Beautiful.
but it was beautiful. But at the same time, you're like, how would he have done that?
Would you get a figure of that?
Probably,
Yeah, that's a good figure to get.
as long as it looked like Dwight.
Yeah.
Like it would
Yeah,
have to have the exact head. Yeah. In my mind, it's a great gory film. There's so many cool camera angles and shots and like what do you call it when you put a
Split screen.
on your Instagram, you put filter. There's so many cool filters
Yeah.
and shit used, like the negative, the VHS shots.
A lot of different color grading, a lot of different use of colored light in shots, a lot of green shots.
Like a lot of red whenever Otis is
Yeah,
around, because
yeah,
he's like the most crazy badass bitch.
Yeah.
Baby's crazy. I like how Sherry Moon portrayed that character really well. It's just that crazy laugh, and she's like stuck in a 1920s Hollywood, and
Marilyn Monroe.
in my mind, every character was great. Shots were great. Music's great. Gore is great. And Captain Spaulding.
Yeah. And I want to hang out with him.
I really do. Well, we can't anymore, but
Because they closed
one
down.
day we'll see you. We'll see you.
see you,
We'll
Captain.
hang out.
El Capitan.
We'll eat some chicken.
Fried chicken. Hot, spicy fried chicken.
I don't think he had hot spice. You shut up,
It
phone.
did say
We're
spicy
almost done.
because in the commercial, when it was flashing danger and blood, when he was talking about the chicken, it
Oh, did it
said
say spicy?
And,
Oh, chicken's so good, make you want to slap your mama. That's another movie reference that you're not going to get. It's one of the Friday movies. You wouldn't have known that.
I want to say
You've never
no.
seen a stoner movie in your life.
Yeah, I
Super
saw
bad
Pineapple
story.
Express.
Oh, look at you.
It's all right.
Wow. That's not one of my favorites
No,
either, I'm not going to lie. That was big when it came out.
Yeah, it
and
was.
It was all right.
Seth Rogen. what are you
Super
gonna
bad
do?
was better.
Yeah.
And yeah. Is there a stoner horror movie we could do? I'm going to look
Club
into
Dread.
that. Club Dread. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He hasn't even seen it, and he's answering the questions that I should have the answers for.
Immediately.
But I think that's it. Rob
That's
Zombie's first movie. Steven saw it for the first time.
And then what band does he play in?
Rob Zombie.
I've heard of that.
You're not too shabby.
Yeah.
And before that, he was in a band called White Zombie.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he likes zombies. And Sherry Moon.
Do you think he would kiss Sherry Moon's zombie bum? And that is going to do it today. 1,000 corpses in a house That's a 5 out of 5 from the both of us.
That's crazy. That's a perfect movie. And this is a perfect podcast episode. Oh. And you know what else would be perfect?
If you guys would rate 8 stars on Spotify.
Yeah.
Leave a comment in our Twitter.
Everywhere. Like us, email us.
Zoom in on one of our pictures on Instagram.
Don't do that.
Why?
They won't come back.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
They won't come back. They'll see the secret. We've hidden a letter in each one of our Instagram posts, and you have to like it and zoom in and find the letter, and we piece together a secret message to you all.
Don't waste your time doing that.
Thank you so much for listening to
200 listens. We said that last episode, but I'm still
It's 209 now, so I guess let's give them a live update.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
That blows my mind. People listen to us
right now. They're listening right now.
Maybe.
Guys? Are you there?
No, but follow us on the socials. Check out our YouTube. Check out our everything. Oh.
Maybe we'll post a spicy picture on our Instagram.
Maybe.
If we hit a certain mile.
Jalapeno
pepper.
Ghost pepper.
Keep it an
banana
eye out.
pepper.
Oh, ghost pepper makes sense because we're a horror podcast.
Oh.
Ghosty.
Oh.
Casper and his hot diarrhea.
And his hot ghost pepper diarrhea. Firefly flaming.